I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Ha, Rakah, Kodash, double honors unto our apostle elders, which rule great millstone well, and shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. May you endure unto the end. Shalom, Ma Abba Babal. This is Psalm 74, verse 1, a maskil of Asaph. O our power, why hast thou cast us off forever? Why doth thine anger smoke against the sheep of thy pasture? Remember thy congregation, which thou hast purchased of old, the rod of thine inheritance, which thou hast redeemed, this Mount Zion, wherein thou hast dwelt. Lift up thy feet unto the perpetual desolations, even all that the enemy had done wickedly in the sanctuary. Right? So he's asking the Lord to remember us, which the Lord does remember us. That's why we're remembering ourselves now in the last days. So really, he's prophesying in Psalm 74. You gotta remember, it's Isaiah 1 and 26. It says, "And I will restore thy judges as at the first, and thy counselors as at the beginning. Afterward thou shalt be called the city of righteousness, the faithful city. Zion shall be redeemed." Right, and part of being redeemed, the word redeemed is the first two letters is meaning going back to, like, remember, with judgment, and her converts with righteousness. And the destruction of the transgressors and of the sinners shall be together, and they that forsake Yahweh shall be consumed in nuclear destruction. All right, in these last days, they're gonna be destroyed by fire. It's called the second death. It says in verse 3 in Psalm 74, "Lift up thy feet unto the perpetual desolations, even all that the enemy has done wickedly in the sanctuary." But it tells you in Isaiah 3 that the wicked, it says, "Woe unto the wicked, it shall be ill with him, for the reward of his hand shall be given him." See? So the Lord's going to remember the wicked. And go to Lamentations 4 and verse 22. "The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion." Talking about the Israelites, starting with the elect. "He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will visit thy sins." So he's going to judge the nation of Edom, all right, which is the so-called white race, the wicked that rule the world today. It says in Psalm 74, verse 4, "Thine enemies roar in the midst of thy congregations. They set up their ensigns for signs." Right, which it tells you in Wisdom of Solomon 2, that the enemy that think upright, that are ungodly and think not uprightly, all right, that they plot against the righteous. It says in verse 12, "Therefore let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn, and he is contrary to our doings. He upbraideth us with our offending the law, and objected to our infamy, the transgressings of our education," because we teach the truth. All right. It says, let me get this, Psalm 74, verse 4, and I want it in NLT. It says, there your enemies shouted their victorious battle cries. There they set up their battle standards, right? Which they set up the laws. It says in verse 5, a man was famous according as he had lifted up axes upon the thick trees, but now they break down the carved work thereof at once with axes and hammers. They have cast fire into the sanctuary. They have defiled by casting down the dwelling place of thy name to the ground. They said in their hearts, let us destroy them together. They have burned up all the synagogues of they have burned up all the synagogues of our power in the land. We see not our signs. There is no more any prophet, neither is there any among us, any that knoweth how long. Right? But the Lord is remembering us, and He gave us now prophets. What does it say in Isaiah 1 and 3? Isaiah 1 and verse 3: the ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib, but Israel does not know, my people does not consider. Verse 9, except Yahweh of hosts had left unto us a very small remnant, we should have been as Sodom, and we should have been like unto Gomorrah. All right, and we're being commanded to stand on our feet and raise up an ensign. In fact, I'm going to Revelation 11 and 11. And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai entered into them, Abba Bivens, and they stood upon their feet, starting in 1969 in Harlem. And great fear fell upon them which saw them, right? And they're seeing us set up what? The ensign. It says in verse 2 of Isaiah 13, lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain, which is the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Exalt the voice unto them, shake the hand that they may go into the gates of the nobles. Which this is happening. This is why you hear them wanting to shut off the social media, because of the truth reaching the nobles. All right, the ones that control the world. It says in verse 10 of Psalm 74, O our power, how long shall the adversary reproach? Shall the enemy blaspheme thy name forever? Why withdrawest thou thy hand, even thy right hand, pluck it out of thy bosom? For the power is my king of old, working salvation in the midst of the earth. Thou didst divide the sea by thy strength. Thou breakest the heads of the dragons in the waters. Thou breakest the heads of the Leviathan in pieces, and giveth him to be meat to the people inhabiting the wilderness. Thou didst cleave the fountain, and the flood thou driest up mighty rivers. The day is thine. I'm going to get this in the NLT so it's more clear. Sometimes it's more clear, sometimes it's not. It says in verse 11, why do you hold back your strong right hand, Yahushai? Unleash your powerful fists and destroy them. You are power, which that word there would be Elohim. Yep, Elohim. So it's plural for God. Are my king from ages past. Bring salvation to the earth. Send Yahushai. You split the sea by your strength for the Israelites and smash the heads of the sea monsters. Crush the heads of Leviathan and let the desert animals eat him. Which Esau's flesh is going to get eaten by fire. Revelation 17. It says in verse 16, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, which the whore is America, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Nuclear destruction. It says, verse 15, you caused the springs and streams to gush forth, and you dried up rivers that never run dry. Both day and night belong to you. You made the starlight and the sun. You set the boundaries of the earth, and you made both summer and winter. See how these enemies insult you? Yahweh, a foolish nation, has dishonored your name. Don't let these wild beasts destroy your turtle doves. Don't forget your suffering people forever. Remember your covenant promises, for the land is full of darkness and violence, and we're in the dark time right now, and we're about to see Yahweh return, which it tells you in Malachi 4 verse. I'll start at 1. It says, for behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith Yahweh of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. But unto you that fear my name, the Son, which is Yahweh of righteousness, arise with healing in his wings. So even though we're in the darkest time, we're about to see light, which is Yahweh. And ye shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall, which he gave us the ability to radiate light in this dark place. Matthew 5 verse 16. It says, let your light so shine, so tell the truth before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father and his Son, Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh, which is in heaven. All right, Shalom to the elect, wa ababa bom.